Assalamu alaikum, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. My dear brother and sister, today is a Friday, but unfortunately we are locked down and we didn't go outside. Last 3, 4 weeks we are really, passing a very horrible and very crucial times because we are not used to stay at home for whole days and whole weeks and whole months. It is really, what I'm saying, mental torture or like that. But unfortunately, we have to stay home and we must stay home for myself, for my community, for my people, for my society, for my families, for our nations and for all over the world. It is a very important and very very I'm saying very precious to stay at home, because if we don't stay home, if we don't follow the instructions from the government, from what I'm saying, from the community, then it would be very dangerous, and we can do a lot of harm for the society, for our family, for the whole over the world. So we have to stay home as long as possible, as much as possible, because this is the welfare of myself and everyone. My dear brother, today I'm really very very painful because, as you know, we are passing a crucial and very dangerous time. But in this moment, in this time, some people in our society, some moneyed people, some rich people, or some, you can say, the senseless people, or you can say the more mostly you can say harshly nonsense people. They just make their home and house as like a big store. So please, they are storing a lot of things. They are storing a lot of foods, like 4, 5, 6 months. I don't know why. How do they know this pandemics, or how do they expect these things? This pandemic will continue for 5, 6 months or 8 months like that. My dear brother, because if we money people, if we some rich people, for example, store a lot of foods and a lot of things in our home. So do you think before storing these things, in the world more than 60% people are lower middle class. They are poor people. They don't have much money. They can even they cannot store 2, 3 days foods in their home. They have a babies. They have parents. They have their own families, their relatives. They have children and kids. So they are passing a horrible and very dangerous time. But unfortunately, we people, everyone already know that the people are rushing to the superstore, and they are dashing and they're fighting to buy some unnecessary storage. So this is really horrible. If you for example, think about that, how the other people will overcome the situation. That's a very important fact you have to think about. But unfortunately, we don't. I have one wonderful news that one of the parents, the poor parents, poor father, he went to the store for buying some baby food, or some milk for his baby. But unfortunately he didn't find any single bottle, any single can of milks, any single a can of what I'm saying, important things for her baby, for his baby. So his baby's crying, they're suffering, and it is really, for these things you're responsible. For this cars, you're responsible. The person who store unnecessarily huge number of baby milks and baby foods and something else. So for that you will be punished. For that you will be asked here and hereafter both. So my dear brother, please don't do any harm for others. Please don't do any to create a miserable condition, miserable environment for the other people. Some people store huge number of rice and flours and fish, the chickens, everything's. And on the other hand, those who are day laborer, ways, those who are very low income people, they went to the store even to buy something simple food for the family, but they didn't find that, and they're starving. They're what I'm saying, passing a very crucial and very what I'm saying, very dangerous time. So for that things you are responsible. I am responsible. If I store, if I consume all things. Another important thing is that just if you just on the if you just listen the BBC, CNN, or other your local televisions or local news, you're gonna find some many painful story. Suppose, and I want to share one story to you, as a real story. Just 2 weeks back, in America, my sister, my younger sister, live in America. She's in New York. Just had one of her known female, she died by the coronavirus. May Allah grant her soul in Jannah. May Allah, what I'm saying, may Allah, forgive her his tour. But this is, the painful is that my sister said that just 2 or 3 days before her death, she went to Superstore and to buy many foods, to many things, and he stored at home. But unfortunately, he just died. And so my dear brother, and he didn't consume. She didn't consume even. I don't know. I'm sorry to say that how much she stored, but she didn't consume all, because just 3 days of storing, she died. So look at this point. When Malik al Maut, the angel of death, will come to you, will come to me, he will not give you a single chance, single moment to stand. He will not ask you that how many store do you have. You have to consume all things, and then I'll come. No, my dear brother, there's no chance. Just he comes once and he take your soul and say goodbye from the world, and he will not ask you anything. So my dear brother, think about it. Think about yourself. Think about that moment. Okay. So was my request. Please don't make your home a big superstore, because no benefit. Don't destroy the peace and harmony in society. Help and support the poor people. Support the people. Just if you don't go to the store, if you just buy your own necessary, own the very needed things, okay, you just buy them, no problem. Or at least you can store 10 to 15 days maximum, 10 to 15 days, because sometimes if there are any decisions come from the governments to stay at home at least 5 to 10 days, okay, then you can that can support you. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't sensible that it never it is not what I'm saying, the very sensible that you just rush to the store and you just grab everything, you buy everything, because you have money. You can store 5, 6, 7, 8 months. So think about, if you store 6 months foods in your home, what happened? What will happen? The person who is not able to buy a single day food. So please, my dear brother, and you are the responsible. We are responsible to the hike of the price, and what I'm saying, shortage of storage in the store or in a godown, because we grab and we just what I'm saying, store everything. Another thing is, I want to say, I'm sorry to say that, please just what I'm saying is, just knock at your neighbor, okay, just go to them and ask them their situation, if they need anything over phone. You can say, because nowadays everyone have a phone, everyone has a cell phone, or everyone have iPhone, smartphone, everything. So just try to call them, try to ask their situations, try to support them. We just help them from our store like that. We just go to the neighbor or ask them, and try to support them. Another important thing, and I can say you that this is we are passing a very crucial time, and we are locked down. We don't have any work right now. We don't have any office. We don't have any business. We don't have any major activities. Okay, so how do you pass your time in at home? It is a great time. I think it's a great time, because uh, uh, in this time you can judge yourself, you can prove yourself, you can ask yourself, you can rectify yourself. You just stand before the mirror and asks, what types of man we are and who you are. Okay, what you have to do, what I must do, what you have to do for yourself, for your family, for your society, for your for your deen, and for here and hereafter. So this is the great chance. Okay, this is the great time you are passing. Don't abuse your time. Don't misuse your time. Don't waste your time. By watching something bad, worthless, something you know uh, just you can listen some scholars lectures, you can read the books, you can read Quran, you can hadith, you can read scientific things, you can read many things, you can what I'm saying, you can just write something, you can write your poems, your poetry, your what I'm saying, everything. So my dear brother, please, my request is that this is the high time. Just you think, your just you ask your senses that what I did and what I have to do in future, because that help you a lot. uh, and at the last I can say you, I'm sorry to say that, because I maybe hurt you, or I became very harsh to you. I'm sorry, my dear brother. This is very important, because you don't know, many people are suffering for the few people, and for the few, money to rich people, or for nonsense people. So please, please come back. Okay, still you have a lot of chance, still you have a lot of way. You just beg pardon. Okay, you just rectify yourself. You can you can do good for the people, and please don't do that things. And another thing is that, my dear brother, I can say you, this time are really precious, because we have to pray for all over the world. We have to show our sympathy. We have to convey our good message to the people, and so on like that. So please pray for me. May Allah accept our, may Allah grant our effort. May Allah grant our home quarantine. May Allah, grant everything. May Allah save us from the devastation, from the natural calamity, from the virus, from everything. So thank you very much. Again, I beg pardon to you, those who are already hurted, and those who are, get pain from my speech, or from my, what I'm saying, from my, word. I'm really sorry for that. But really, pray for me also. I'm trying to, you know do better for something. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa